Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is the market US recap for the week ending July 18th, 2025. What we have here is the Nasdaq Composite Index chart here on the weekly, and we have come up quite a bit. This is the run here. It's pretty much a V-shaped bounce since April 7th low. And this is also interesting because we are seeing 15 weeks up right now. 15 weeks up since it's been 15 weeks since the bottom. And if we look at previous runs, here you see back in 2023 we have a 19 weeks up run. Then back in around September 2023 we have another 20 weeks run up, and then here we have a shorter one, 12 weeks up. So after each pullback, we have another run. So and then here we have 14 weeks up. And this one is obviously a pretty severe correction, like I think over 20%. And therefore now we're running up 15 weeks up. So yeah, market is really strong. Here's the daily chart. We broke this high right here around 20,000-ish. And this was a pullback right here and make new high. And then pull back on this day right here. And then after that, it seems to be riding the 10-day pretty well. We haven't really come back to the 21-day yet. The last time was right here. And yeah, looking very sharp right now, Nasdaq. Also, we're not seeing too many distribution days recently, which is also a good sign here. You can see there's only a few down days. So again, the market is definitely very strong. And that also results in lots of stops extended, and some are pulling back now, but some are still going. And then there's also a lot that are, like I said, very extended. So it's very hard to put in an entry point at this moment. So if you have it, let it ride. If you don't have the stop, probably better to wait for an opportunity when it pulls back. Either to some moving averages, like 21-day or 50-day. Some will pull back to those lines here. So we'll see. We'll see more examples of that in my growth stocks video. Please make sure you follow the next video after this one. Next here we look at S&P 500. Again, we also see similar action here, a V-shaped rebound since April 7 low. So very, very strong market for both Nasdaq and S&P, making new highs again this week. And also closing pretty strong on the week as well. So here we are, like even though it was down by a niche here, just a little bit, overall is still very healthy. We had a little pullback on Wednesday here. You see that? It came down below the 10-day, but look at where it closed. It closed at the top of the range and above the 10-day. And then we're able to follow through Thursday and Friday. We make new high here. So very strong action. So on the Dow Jones, we have bounced quite significantly, but the last 2 weeks, notice how we are coming down. So there is definitely a resistance near this previous level here, and volume is also higher on the downside too. So that's interesting. On the daily chart, we see this actually looks quite a pullback here, all the way to 21-day. And we undercut on Wednesday. We undercut like 7 sessions lows here, and then we broke to 21-day before it bounced, and then we came back above the 10-day right here on Thursday, and then today we kind of gave up that gain and came back down to the 10-day again. So that's kind of two negatives. First, we couldn't cross the previous high really decisively, and then we have this pullback. And then after this pullback, we try to bounce and it lose momentum very quickly. So that's a kind of negative as well. So here we have Russell. Russell is by far the weakest index of all these ones, and we do have a V-shaped bounce as well. But we are way below the previous high. Recently, we crossed this black line 200-day, and so far, we're able to find support at the 200-day. So that's one good thing. On the daily chart, you can see the 200-day black line right here. We did pull back recently this week again. On Wednesday, we pulled all the way back to the pink line, which is 21 day, and from there it bounced and closed at the 10 day right here. And then on Thursday we were able to bounce back above 10 day. However, Friday we also gave back some gains. So both Dow and Russell gave back some gains on Friday. Hopefully they can hold this, because that will, then it will form the bottom channel line and it can go on the uptrend here. But that's but again, this one also having problem making new high recently here. So we'll see. So on the RSP equal weighted S&P 500, very similar chart. It's sitting above the 10-day slightly, and but again we didn't make new high. So this one looks a little bit weaker, right? Because we didn't make new high. That was like how many sessions? Six sessions ago. So whereas S&P make new high Thursday and Friday. So there's the lag there. And actually I can show you right now. On the IBD newspaper, there is the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline daily line here. And we can see S&P like hitting new high Thursday, Friday, but look at where the advanced decline line is. It's actually not near the high. So that also shows that breadth is losing some steam there. And looking at Nasdaq, very similar Thursday, Friday, we make new high, and we didn't make new high here on the advanced decline line for Nasdaq. And this one looked a little bit better because it's kind of in the middle of the near-term range here. But overall, it's showing there's definitely some stocks kind of more stocks not doing as well as they should. If we look at QQEW, that's the equal weight Nasdaq 100. So this one also didn't make new high on Thursday and Friday. Came pretty close to it on Friday, but it didn't. So again, this one is lagging as well compared to the weighted index. Next, we're gonna jump to in the weighted IB50. So this one is doing well. It has bounced like this. It lost momentum last week, but this week it was able to find its footing and bounce back above the 10-day on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it came out right here, and Friday it followed through. We're looking at the 0-10X here, the 10-year yield, Treasury yield. It was coming up pretty strong, closer to 4.5%, and then it gave back on Friday. So this is something to watch for, because we are between the 4.4 and 4.5 range. In the past, we have seen the market lose momentum, or equities get hit when it go above the 4.5. So we just have to watch out for that. So the US dollar has been bouncing pretty strong lately. It got a really volatile day on Wednesday, but it managed to close not too low, and then on Thursday it gapped up and came back above the red line here, which is the 50-day moving average. And on Friday, it also came down, but it was able to close near the top. So, so the US dollar looks like it has some momentum, definitely, because it just feels like it doesn't want to give up easily. And even though it kept down on Friday, we see a nice bounce throughout the rest of the day. So this could continue. Let's see, because it's now back above 50-day again. US oil, it just kind of undecided. It just keep moving back below the 10-day, above the 10-day, back below 10-day, above the 10-day, and then Friday closed near the 10-day. So it just stuck there. Gold is also not making much of a move. It's just going near the 10-day, slightly above it right now. Silver is trying to bounce right now off the 10-day. It has a nice week last week. It make new high right there. Then this week it coming back down to the 10-day, and so far it has found support. Copper has a huge gap up right here, and then now it's going sideways. So after the gain it went sideways, and then Friday it bounced again. So this is definitely looking really good. Then we're looking at this is Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. We have a strong move in the Bitcoin, but this week it seems to have been moving a little bit down on Tuesday after the gap up on Monday to new highs, and then it just been stuck here while the 10-day is catching up. So we'll see how it reacts as the 10-day come closer and closer. whether it will bounce off it. So far it hasn't, so we'll see. This is WinX Semiconductor ETF, very strong. It just came out last pretty much a week ago, more than a week ago, and now it's starting to continue to move up. So the semiconductor chip area is doing pretty good, I would say. And this is a really nice chart here, very similar to Nasdaq chart. It just finds support in the near term 10-day, and yeah, it's still doing well. So moving to the mega cap stock here, Nvidia, very similar chart. It started, pretty much after this pullback to the buy point right here, and after a breakout, it pulls back to the 10-day near the buy point, and then from there it really bounced. It hasn't touched the 10-day one since that, so it's still shooting for maybe there's 20% profit zone here. I'm not sure if it will reach it, but it looks like it's heading for it. Next we have Avago, also making new high. This one did well this week. Broadcom. So on Thursday it make new high. Friday it pulls back a little bit, but again, this one has found support since this bounce from right here, and it's holding the 10-day pretty good. Next we have Taiwan Semiconductor. This one also near new high. Yeah, it reported this week, have a really huge volume on that day. So here's the gap up on Thursday, right there, making new high. It passed the 25% profit zone from this level here, right here on the breakout. Overall, yeah, it's pretty good. The last pullback was right there, and I was shaken out here, but yeah, I didn't get back in. But yeah, it's still looking pretty good. Right now it's pulling back strong today on Friday. So it looks like it might, either test the 10-day coming up as it comes up. IGV, this is the software sector group here. We had a pretty hard hit the week before, but this week we were able to recover pretty much most of it, as you can see there. We're still trying to break out though. This is, having a hard time breaking out right here. So we saw the pullback the week before. This week, again, just like the index, we were able to bounce back pretty nicely. We are near the highs again, so hopefully this will break out here. We'll see again. So with that being said, lots of earnings coming out in the next few weeks, and that will change. That can completely change the whole landscape. So just because your stocks have been performing doesn't mean that stock will continue to perform. So be mindful of that. And I generally don't like to trade too much during earnings time, unless there's a really good setup. And yeah, we'll try to talk more about the setups and stuff in the next video as well. So here we see Microsoft making new high as well. Very powerful stock right now, very powerful. And then Friday, it make a new high before it reversed lower. Again, very healthy stock. Look at this green line. I mean, this green line has been the support line for this stock. It has not once come down to the pink line. It's just a really amazing stock. And obviously AI is the probably main reason why this stock is doing so well. So here's Meta. Meta having problem. It really tried to break out, but it couldn't a few weeks ago. And since then, it has been pulling back. So this is one of the stocks that are pulling back now. Not only dropped below 10, it dropped below 21 day this week. And so now we formed this downtrend line. And now we want to see, like so far, it has no success coming above the 10-day moving average. So as it drops, it will bounce, and watch what it does when it comes to the 10-day line. And so far, it hasn't tried to come above it. So we are, so this one is correcting or pulling back. So we are down 5.8% from the high right now. So yeah, so we'll see how far this will pull back. Next we have Google. Google also make a good move this week. You can see it broke out right here after this tight consolidation here, and then we came out. So that looks pretty good. On the daily chart, you can see the handle forming right here, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Found support here on Thursday as well on the 10-day, and now it's bouncing. So yeah, this one looks pretty good as well. On Amazon, very similar chart. Even though they had their prime week or 4 days, prime days, it didn't really make a big move. So, so this is the breakout zone. It came out, but it really didn't make a big move. So today it bounced back again. We'll see, but it still overall looks healthy. So here's Apple. Apple hasn't really done much. It's been, pretty far down from the high here. This is the red line 50-day. It's been, kind of sitting under it for a while here. And then finally it crossed back above the short-term moving average right here. And at first you thought it's going to go, but then it went for a few days. And then it got knocked down right there. And since then, it's kind of doing an L-shaped pattern, which I don't like, right? Because you have this down day, big down day, and then you just went sideways instead of bouncing back. So to me, this is a negative pattern at this moment. Here's Tesla. This one has been stuck in this big range, and then it having a hard time coming out either side, either lower or higher. Then we kind of stuck in the middle range, just closing in, for a few weeks. But this week we're able to close above the 10-day. So there's some progress there. So here we see this on the daily chart. I draw this really long trend line right here from the top. And the trend line is good because it's not steep at all. It's pretty easy to cross this line as time goes by. So we have been rejected at this line before. So we're coming close to it again, and we want to see how it reacts here. So if we can cross back above it, that would be good. So that's where Tesla is at. Of course, Robotaxi is the #1 news related to this company. So we'll see how that progresses as time goes on. And we have our first earnings result from a mega cap here, Netflix on the Max 7 results here. Earnings are very strong. Guidance are strong as well. And, look at the sales are still very impressive. However, the stock did not react well today. Now we are almost 10% down from the top here. And this stock actually been pulling back even before today. But today it kind of, so you can see here's the peak right here. And then it's been coming down. It tried to bounce back on Thursday, just above the 10-day, but then it got knocked back down after the earnings. And volume's really high. Like here's the volume, largest volume here since quite a while. So that's quite negative. And also it closed not only below the red line, it closed right at the bottom. So that's another big negative. A couple of negatives there at least. And yeah, and this is not a very good pattern even on the intraday chart. It basically came down hard, went sideways, and no bounce whatsoever. Like the bounce is so minimal that you can't even really count those as a big, a good bounce. So this is not good. So that, but with that being said, again, stocks do correct. So when the moment comes for correction, we just have to be patient. I really like this stock. I traded it. So, the green arrows where I usually buy, and the pink arrows where I usually sell some partial position. The red arrows when I either get stop out, usually, or I just ran out of position to sell. So this one, did okay for me. This last run here was probably where I make some good money there, but again, now it's just a patient game. We have to watch out for how far this pullback will go. Because the market index hasn't corrected yet or pulled back at all, especially S&P and Nasdaq making new high. This stock it can be more it could drop more is what I'm trying to say, because usually stocks follow the market, most of them. And so if the market index generally fall, then this stock could fall a lot further. And but I don't know, it's kind of hard to see that happening because this stock has such strong fundamentals. The last time here, based on this Marketsurge 2 here, it shows that the depth of this space is 23%. So, so if we do correct here, we could see a 20 to 25%, something like that. I don't know, just an estimate. But anyhow, we'll see what happens. Again, in short, I'm not chasing any stocks right now. I'm not even like literally, I'm not even buying on breakouts. I'm just standing on the sideline watching any stock, watching stocks how they move. What stocks like Netflix here is a really good buy candidate once this pullback is over, because it has such strong fundamentals. I don't even know why it came down, but but that's okay because I trade on momentum. So once the momentum comes back, I'll be getting back into this stock. But I'm not gonna jump back in right now because I don't buy on weakness. I only buy on strength. So once there's more positive momentum, I'll get back in. So yeah, so that's it for this recap video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, and follow my next video. I'm gonna go through some growth stocks and see how they behave this week. Thank you.